Have you ever stopped in the middle of a quiet morning, looked at yourself, and wondered why your erection just isn't responding the way it used to, even when the desire is still there? Why the penis feels slower, softer, or weaker, almost as if something inside your body is quietly holding it back? Most men assume it's age, hormones, or simple bad luck. But what if the real problem is something far more basic, something happening inside your blood and tissues every single day that no one ever warned you about? That is exactly what brings us to a surprising truth: the link between hidden acidity in the body and the sudden weakening of male sexual power after 50. I'm Dr. Emily Collins, urologist, and I can tell you this with complete certainty. For many men, the issue isn't a lack of testosterone, it's the silent buildup of acidity that stiffens blood vessels, restricts circulation, and reduces the ability of the penis to fill with strong, forceful blood flow. When the internal environment becomes too acidic, nitric oxide production drops sharply. And nitric oxide is the molecule that tells the arteries inside the penis to open fully so you can get a firm, reliable erection. Without it, everything feels weaker, slower, and less responsive. This is why you may notice softer erections, difficulty maintaining firmness, or that feeling of fading strength during sex. And here's where bicarbonate comes in. Most men think it's just something you keep in the kitchen cabinet. But when used correctly, it acts like a natural regulator for acidity, helping your bloodstream return to a healthier balance. That shift alone can improve oxygen delivery, restore better vascular expansion, and allow your penis to respond with more rigidity. The secret isn't magic. It's chemistry, circulation, and timing. When your body's pH moves closer to its ideal range, blood flows more freely, muscles relax more easily, and your sexual response becomes noticeably stronger. This simple compound has helped countless men regain confidence, energy, and power in ways they never expected. And the most surprising part is that the benefits can start showing up sooner than most men believe. But for you to experience a real change, you need to understand how it works, when to use it, and how to prepare it safely so your penis can respond the way it's meant to, with natural strength and reliable firmness. Before we go deeper, tell me something. Have you ever felt your erection weaken at the worst moment? Have you noticed your sexual energy shifting with age and wondered why? If any of this resonates, leave a comment sharing your experience, hit like so this message reaches more men who need it, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. What you're about to discover next might surprise you even more, and it sets the stage for a transformation that many men never imagined was possible. When we talk about erections weakening with age, most men immediately look toward testosterone as the main explanation, but the real story begins inside the blood vessels long before hormones even enter the conversation. Your erection is nothing more and nothing less than a circulatory event. It depends on the elasticity of your arteries, the responsiveness of your endothelium, and the amount of nitric oxide your body can produce on demand. After 50, however, subtle biochemical changes shift the internal environment of the body, and one of the most overlooked factors is the slow rise in systemic acidity. This acidity doesn't burn or sting outwardly, but it creates microscopic tension inside the arteries, especially the smaller ones responsible for supplying the penis. Those delicate vessels become less flexible, less able to dilate fully, and more prone to sluggish blood flow. When acidity rises, your red blood cells don't carry oxygen as efficiently, your tissues become slightly inflamed, and your body starts using more energy just to maintain basic functions. That means less energy left for sexual response. This is why many men describe feeling heavy, tired, or mentally foggy, even before noticing changes in erection quality. It's all connected. The penis is one of the first places to show the consequences because it relies on rapid, high-pressure blood flow. Even a small restriction in circulation can result in weaker rigidity, shorter-lasting firmness, or erections that fade the moment you feel distracted or pressured. Nitric oxide production also takes a direct hit when acidity rises. Nitric oxide is the switch that tells penile arteries to relax and expand. but the enzymes that produce it are extremely sensitive to changes in pH. As acidity increases, these enzymes slow down, reducing the release of nitric oxide right when you need it most. Without enough nitric oxide, the smooth muscle inside the penis cannot fully relax, and blood cannot rush in with the strength needed to create firmness. This is why you may feel your penis start to respond but fail to reach the level of rigidity you had in your younger years. Biologically, nothing is wrong with your desire or identity as a man. The problem is the internal environment that has shifted quietly over decades. Acidity also contributes to mild inflammation throughout the pelvic region. Inflammation puts constant pressure on nerves, reducing sensitivity and diminishing that immediate, enthusiastic response you used to feel. Some men describe this as numbness, weak feedback, or the sense that arousal takes longer to build. This is not a psychological issue. It's physiology. When tissues are inflamed, signals between the nerves in the penis and the brain slow down, meaning it takes more stimulation to reach the same level of excitement. Blood viscosity changes too. When the body becomes more acidic, blood can thicken slightly, making it harder to circulate efficiently through small arteries. This is subtle enough that you don't feel it when walking or breathing, but the penis detects it immediately. Erection depends on speed, pressure, and the ability of the blood vessels to expand fully. Any delay or restriction affects performance. Understanding all of this is critical because it reveals why so many men feel betrayed by their bodies after 50 even when they maintain desire and emotional intimacy. The decline isn't about a failing libido. It's about the internal chemistry that controls the very mechanism of erection. And when you begin to correct that chemistry, even slightly, the body often responds faster than expected. The shift in pH alone can begin to relieve tension in the arteries, restore better circulation, and revive the natural signals that drive male sexual strength. That foundation is what makes the next step so powerful, because once you understand what's happening internally, the role of bicarbonate becomes much clearer and far more logical as you continue to explore the method that supports stronger, more reliable erections. As you begin to understand how acidity quietly reshapes the internal environment of the male body, it becomes easier to see why bicarbonate can create such a noticeable shift in erection quality when used correctly. Bicarbonate is not a stimulant, not a hormone booster, and not a magical formula. It is a natural buffer, something your own body already uses to stabilize pH and protect tissues from the effects of excess acidity. When levels of bicarbonate drop with age, stress, poor sleep, dehydrated cells, and certain dietary habits, the acidity inside the bloodstream gradually increases. Restoring this balance gives your circulatory system the support it has been missing, allowing the penis to perform with more strength, responsiveness, and stability. Inside the bloodstream, bicarbonate acts like a regulator that neutralizes acidic compounds produced by metabolism. When the internal pH becomes slightly more balanced, the blood vessels immediately feel the difference. Their walls relax more efficiently, elasticity improves, and the endothelium becomes more receptive to producing nitric oxide again. This means the arteries inside the penis can dilate more fully, allowing a faster and more powerful wave of blood to enter during arousal. Many men describe this change as a sense of return, a moment where the penis starts to feel alive again, responding with more courage and firmness. Another crucial aspect is the way bicarbonate reduces microinflammation. As the acidic environment improves, inflammatory markers decline, releasing pressure on the nerves responsible for sensation and responsiveness. This is one of the reasons men begin noticing heightened sensitivity, stronger feedback during arousal, and a more immediate sexual response. When inflammation decreases, nerve signaling becomes clearer and more efficient, helping the brain interpret arousal faster and more intensely. Because bicarbonate also influences oxygen transport, it helps red blood cells carry oxygen more effectively to the pelvic region. Oxygen is a vital element for erectile function because the smooth muscle tissue inside the penis relies on oxygen-rich blood to relax and expand. When oxygen availability increases, erections become easier to initiate and maintain. This is especially important for men over 50, who often struggle with diminished cellular oxygenation due to aging vascular changes, sedentary habits, or accumulated stress. Bicarbonate also affects muscle fatigue. When acidity rises, muscles tire faster, and this includes the pelvic floor and vascular smooth muscles that play a direct role in erection firmness. By helping regulate acidity, bicarbonate reduces early fatigue, allowing these muscles to sustain contraction and pressure for longer periods. That is why men sometimes feel a renewed sense of endurance or improved control when the internal balance begins to normalize. The digestive system also plays a significant role in sexual performance. High acidity can impair nutrient absorption, which indirectly affects hormones, energy, and sexual health. Bicarbonate contributes to a more favorable digestive environment, helping the body assimilate minerals like magnesium and potassium that support relaxation, vascular tone, and overall vitality. When the body begins operating in a more efficient state, erections naturally reflect that internal improvement. All these mechanisms working together explain why bicarbonate stands out as a surprisingly effective ally for men seeking to restore erection strength without relying on medication. Its influence touches circulation, inflammation, nerve signaling, oxygenation, and muscle performance, forming a foundation that the penis depends on for consistent, powerful sexual function. And understanding these internal changes prepares you for what comes next, because the way you mix, use, and time bicarbonate determines how much of its potential you actually experience. Now that you understand why bicarbonate can influence erection strength, it becomes essential to learn how to prepare and use it correctly, because the benefits depend heavily on precision, timing, and the way your body absorbs the mixture. Many men make the mistake of taking bicarbonate randomly, in excessive amounts, or at the wrong moment of the day, and this prevents the physiological improvements that support stronger erections. To activate its full potential, you need a controlled dose, a compatible liquid, and the right metabolic window so your bloodstream can respond with improved balance, circulation, and vascular relaxation. The preparation itself is simpler than most men expect, but the effect lies in consistency, not in intensity. The safest and most effective starting point is a small amount, half a teaspoon of pure sodium bicarbonate dissolved in a glass of warm water. Warm water helps the bicarbonate dissolve completely, allowing faster absorption through the stomach lining. When the mixture enters the system, it begins regulating acidity gradually, reducing the metabolic load and helping the bloodstream maintain a healthier internal environment. This slow, steady shift allows the arteries in the pelvic region to become more responsive, improving the way blood flows into the penis during arousal. Some men prefer combining bicarbonate with lemon juice, and while the reaction creates foam and releases carbon dioxide, the final result inside the body is not acidic. Instead, the minerals in both ingredients can create a more supportive environment for circulation when used in small amounts. If you choose this option, the correct method is to place half a teaspoon of bicarbonate in the glass first, then squeeze a modest amount of fresh lemon, no more than a teaspoon, and let the reaction settle before adding warm water. This controlled preparation prevents digestive discomfort and allows the mixture to act smoothly in the bloodstream. The timing matters just as much as the preparation. Taking the mixture on an empty stomach, preferably in the early morning, allows the bicarbonate to enter the system without interference from food digestion. When the stomach is empty, the absorption rate increases, and the pH regulating effect happens more consistently. This moment of the day also aligns with natural hormonal rhythms, oxygen distribution, and vascular readiness, creating a more favorable environment for nitric oxide production. Some men report noticeable improvements in energy, clarity, and circulation within days simply because they adjusted the timing. Hydration also plays a critical role. Bicarbonate works best when the body is properly hydrated, since water helps carry minerals through the bloodstream and maintains the fluidity necessary for strong circulation. Throughout the day, consuming adequate water helps prevent the thickening of the blood that can interfere with penile rigidity. Men who maintain hydration often feel a difference not only in erection quality but also in stamina and overall vitality during sexual activity. It is important to avoid using bicarbonate immediately after meals, because this can disrupt digestion and reduce its effectiveness. The goal is not to neutralize stomach acid, but to support systemic pH balance. When used correctly, the mixture does not interfere with digestive processes and instead supports the internal chemistry required for erections to respond with strength and consistency. When the mixture is prepared and consumed with precision, the body begins to show signs of improved balance, lighter circulation, easier breathing, reduced tension around the pelvic region, and a growing sense of readiness during arousal. These subtle changes build the foundation for stronger erectile response as the internal environment shifts into a healthier state that supports male performance. Once you understand how bicarbonate works internally, the next step is recognizing why timing magnifies its effects so dramatically. Many men assume that taking a beneficial substance at any moment of the day will produce the same results, but the body does not function on a flat, uniform rhythm. Every system involved in sexual performance operates in cycles. Hormones rise and fall, blood pressure shifts, nitric oxide sensitivity changes, and the pelvic region cycles through stages of vascular readiness. When you align bicarbonate intake with the natural hormonal and circulatory peaks, the improvement in erection quality becomes much more noticeable. In the early morning, shortly after waking, the male body experiences a predictable surge in testosterone. This increase does not only influence libido but also affects vascular tone, muscle responsiveness, and the psychological drive linked to sexual expression. Pairing bicarbonate with this hormonal rise enhances the body's ability to use the mineral buffer efficiently, supporting nitric oxide activity when the circulatory system is naturally more receptive. This is why many men notice that morning erections feel firmer or more spontaneous. The body is in a state where the internal chemistry favors rigidity. By taking bicarbonate at this precise moment, you reinforce a condition that is already aligned with strong performance. Another key aspect is the role of cortisol, a hormone that tends to peak in the morning as well. When cortisol is elevated, the body's energy systems activate more rapidly, improving circulation and metabolic function. While high cortisol is often discussed negatively, this natural morning rise is essential for preparing the body for daily activity. When bicarbonate enters the bloodstream during this window, it supports the metabolic environment that helps blood flow more freely, enabling the penis to fill more efficiently when arousal occurs. It becomes part of a coordinated response in which hormones, blood vessels, and neural signals all align to support sexual performance. Metabolism also plays a significant role in timing. During the first hours after waking, your digestive system is relatively inactive, which allows bicarbonate to be absorbed more predictably without interference from food. This ensures that its pH regulating effect reaches the bloodstream consistently, helping restore the internal balance that promotes healthier circulation throughout the pelvic region. When metabolism is slow and steady, the body can direct more resources toward balancing acidity and maintaining vascular function, which supports erection strength. As the day progresses, stress, digestion, and physical fatigue gradually shift the body into a more acidic state. This is why many men find that erections come more easily earlier in the day and feel weaker or more inconsistent at night. By using bicarbonate in the morning, you give your system the advantage of starting the day in a more balanced state, preventing the accumulation of acidity that would otherwise make erections harder to achieve and sustain. Morning intake acts as a buffer not only for chemistry but for the cycles of stress and fatigue that influence sexual performance. Another dimension is the responsiveness of the nervous system. During the morning, nerve conduction is often sharper, and sensory pathways function more efficiently. This means the signals that travel from the brain to the penis move with greater clarity. When circulation and nerve activity align, the sexual response becomes stronger and more immediate. Bicarbonate helps stabilize the internal environment so these signals can operate without interference from inflammation or imbalanced pH. By understanding and respecting the natural rhythms of your body, you can maximize the benefits of bicarbonate and create an internal environment that supports stronger, more reliable erections. Each improvement builds on the previous one, preparing the foundation for the next step, where the results become even more evident as physiological responses begin to shift with noticeable consistency. As your body begins to adjust to a more balanced internal pH and improved circulatory conditions, there are several signals that indicate the bicarbonate mixture is starting to take effect. These signs do not appear in the same way for every man, but most will notice a combination of physical, sexual, and energetic changes that reflect the restored internal environment supporting stronger erections. Because the penis is one of the most sensitive indicators of vascular health, improvements often show up there earlier than in any other system. One of the first noticeable signs is a subtle lightness in circulation. Men describe this as a sensation of smoother blood flow, a reduction in heaviness in the legs or lower abdomen, or an easier feeling during movement. This happens because bicarbonate reduces acidity in the bloodstream, allowing red blood cells to carry oxygen more efficiently. Better oxygenation means the tissues in the pelvic region receive the resources they need to relax, expand, and respond during arousal. This internal shift also helps the penile arteries regain their elasticity, making it easier for the penis to fill with blood more quickly and with greater force. Another early signal involves changes in energy levels. When acidity decreases, the body requires less effort to maintain its basic functions, freeing energy that was previously used to fight inflammation or compensate for reduced oxygen transport. Many men begin to feel more alert in the morning, more steady throughout the day, and less fatigued by activities that once felt draining. This improvement in energy translates directly into sexual performance, because erections depend not only on vascular function but also on overall metabolic vitality. You may also notice a renewed sensitivity in the genital region. Acidic conditions and chronic microinflammation tend to dull nerve responses, making arousal feel slower or less intense. As bicarbonate reduces inflammation, nerve pathways regain their clarity, allowing signals between the penis and the brain to move faster and with more intensity. This heightened sensitivity can manifest as stronger morning erections, quicker arousal, or a more noticeable reaction to physical intimacy. These signals show that the erectile tissue is functioning more efficiently and responding to improved circulatory conditions. Changes in the firmness of erections often appear next. When nitric oxide production increases due to a more balanced internal pH, the smooth muscle inside the penis can relax more fully, which is essential for strong rigidity. This is where many men start noticing the difference most clearly. Erections that used to feel soft, inconsistent, or easily lost begin to hold firmness longer and respond more reliably. The penis fills more completely, and the internal pressure remains stronger during arousal, creating a sense of control that may have been fading over the years. Another key indicator is the speed at which erections develop. When the body's internal chemistry supports proper vascular dilation, the transition from stimulation to full erection becomes faster. Instead of feeling like the body hesitates or needs extra time to wake up, the response becomes more immediate. This timing shift is a strong sign that the circulatory and biochemical mechanisms involved in erectile function are becoming more efficient. A deeper, more stable sense of sexual confidence also begins to take shape. When a man senses that his body is responding better, even before a full transformation occurs, the psychological impact reinforces performance. This confidence does not come from hope or imagination but from the real physiological signals the body sends as the internal environment becomes healthier. These signals work together to prepare the foundation for a more powerful, consistent erectile response as the system continues to shift toward balance and strength. As the signals of improvement become clearer, the final step is bringing everything together into a simple and consistent routine that supports your erection strength day after day. Bicarbonate is most effective when you use it as part of a steady rhythm rather than an occasional fix. This means respecting the timing, hydration, and internal balance that you have already begun restoring. When the body receives the mixture at the right moment each morning, it sets the tone for healthier circulation for the entire day. The bloodstream stays more fluid, nitric oxide pathways stay more responsive, and inflammation remains under better control, allowing the penis to react with greater reliability whenever arousal occurs. A balanced routine begins with the morning mixture. Half a teaspoon of bicarbonate dissolved in warm water or combined with a small amount of lemon should be taken before breakfast so the absorption is clean and uninterrupted. Once the mixture enters the system, your body starts adjusting the internal pH, supporting the same physiological processes that influence erection strength. This includes improving oxygen transport, reducing microinflammation, and restoring the elasticity of vascular walls. Over time, this consistency helps reinforce the conditions that support stronger erectile function, allowing your performance to stabilize rather than fluctuate from day to day. Alongside the mixture, hydration remains a key factor. Throughout the day, drinking water regularly helps maintain blood fluidity, ensuring that circulation remains smooth and efficient. Muscles, including the pelvic floor, also perform better when properly hydrated, reducing fatigue and supporting the physical mechanics behind rigidity. Many men underestimate the impact of hydration, yet it is one of the simplest ways to support the results you are already building with bicarbonate. Your routine should also respect your body's natural cycles. If you feel more energetic during the morning or early afternoon, these periods may become the moments when sexual performance feels more natural and responsive. The internal environment you establish in those early hours will help your body carry that balance throughout the rest of the day. When you align your habits with the rhythm of your physiology, the improvements you experience tend to last longer and feel more consistent. As confidence grows, many men notice that their sexual response becomes less hesitant. The shift is both physical and psychological. When the body signals readiness, the mind follows, creating a sense of stability that reinforces performance. This routine does not force the body or overstimulate it. Instead, it supports the natural systems that control erection strength, allowing improvements to happen without pressure or strain. It is a steady, sustainable path that encourages the body to function as it was meant to. And if you reached this point, it means you are committed to understanding your body and taking steps toward real improvement. So let me know you are here with me. Leave a comment using the phrase "I am with you" until the end so I know this message reached the right person. Since this content is bringing value to your life, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and give your like to support this journey. And if you want to keep going deeper, there is a video right here that continues this topic in a way that will help you even more. Just click and stay with me over there as you take the next step forward.